আগে প্রশ্ন করা শিখতে হবে কিভাবে আসলে আমাদের কৌতূহলটা মেটানো যায়। জানার কৌতূহল না থাকলে আপনি জানতে পারবেন না। আপনার যত জানার কৌতূহল থাকবে আপনি ততই জানতে পারবেন। অ্যাজ এ কিউএ, অ্যাজ এ প্রফেশনালি আমি যেটা ফেস করেছি, যে বা আমার সাথে যারা কাজ করে ফেস করেছেন সবাই জানেন যে আমি কতটা আসলে প্রশ্ন করি। আর আমি ব্যক্তিগতভাবেও ফেস করেছি যে আমি এত দূর এসেছি আসলে প্রশ্ন করতেই, প্রশ্ন করে জানতেই। তো আপনারা যদি আপনাদের প্রশ্নগুলো আমাদের সামনে না তুলেন বা স্পিকারদের সামনে না বলেন, কিন্তু অন্যরা জানবে না, বা আপনাদের সেই জানার যেই গ্যাপটা থেকে যাবে সেটা আসলে পূরণ হবে না। তো আমরা প্রশ্ন করব, অনেক বেশি প্রশ্ন করব। স্পিকারদের যারা ছিল সবাইকে বিরক্ত করতে করতে একদম অবস্থা খারাপ করে দেবো, ঠিক আছে? ওকে, আমাদের এখন নেক্সট স্পিকার আমাদের ফ্রান্সিস ফরেস্ট। হি কামস ফ্রম ফ্রান্স অ্যান্ড he started his first company at 17 years old. 17 years old. I was in the school there. Not school actually, university maybe. Anyway, he has been created Fidier, and he is a great product specialist. So please welcome Forrest.
Hi everyone. Whoa. So wait, how do I actually get started? Guys, how do you make play? Well, so I hope it will come. So I'm sorry I don't speak Bengali yet. I'm still learning, so it's going to be in English. So I will try to speak slowly, but the presentation will be available at the end if you want. That is still not my presentation. So hopefully I will get my presentation shortly. But today we are going to talk about customer feedback and how you can build better themes and plugins on WordPress using user feedback. So very easy. It means a lot of things, and it also means nothing. So first, come on. Yeah, sounds good. So first we are going to say what is a feedback, and then we are going to talk about how you collect engaging feedback, okay? And the last point will be how do you build better themes and better plugins. So let's get started. We are going to start with a quick story. It's a story of Imran. So Imran right there is a plugin developer. He has a 5-year experience and is a very good developer. He develops a super original page builder. Yes, another page builder. He has 20K active installs, and he's asking himself, how can I go from 20K installs? You understand your users. How do you understand your users? You use a survey. Of course you use a survey. And then you use the WordPress dashboard. You all know the dashboard. You know it every day. You log into the dashboard. So what Imran does? Like this. Hey, I'm Imran, and I need your feedback on my super original page builder. Well, guess what? You are not alone. Many plugins, many alerts, many, like your attention is just blurred away. So no one will click his message. There'll be just no one because your users have other things to do. They are very busy. They all have a busy life. So the question is, how do you get good feedback from your surveys and from your feedback form? So don't be like Imran. Don't use the WordPress dashboard like this. It's not meant for that reason. And try to engage people. So first thing first, we are going to see, like, who am I? Very quickly. So I'm Francois, I'm from France, only here for 3 weeks. I created my first company in 2015, and I've been developing WordPress themes and plugins for 7 years. But right now, the idea is not to talk about feature or product, but more to talk about your product and to talk about how you can collect better feedback to build better products. Very easy. So first, let's define what is a feedback. I'm sure it means a lot of things for you, but it also means nothing. So if you want to collect feedback to understand your users, to benchmark with your products. So that means, like if you have 2 products, which one is doing better? If you have 2 teams, which one is doing better? And also how you can actually simply be better. And also how you can know your users. So for example, if you develop plugins from Bangladesh, I'm sure most of your users are not necessarily from Bangladesh, but they are from the US, from Europe, from India, and it's maybe you don't want to take a flight every time you want to talk to a user. So the idea is with customer feedback, you just get closer to your users. Yeah, and you want to do this again and again. The idea is not to collect feedback 1 time per year, but to collect feedback on a daily basis. So if you want it to be efficient, you want to make sure you collect feedback at specific moments. Like after plugin activation, plugin deactivations, we are going to talk about that. But first, let's see what is a feedback. So a feedback, it's an information about our reactions to a product, a person's performance of a task, which is used as a basis for improvements. So there are 3 things that actually matters to us. The first one is a reaction. When you collect the feedback, you want to make sure you collect an emotion, which is about the performance. Are you doing good? Are you doing poorly? Or can you actually build better? Which is the improvement. So when you read this, which is from a famous WordPress plugin, breaks layouts, fails to preview, and refuses to publish, unbelievably awful user experience. Is this a feedback? That's not a feedback, it's a review. Because it gives you the emotion, it gives you the performance, in this case, bad, but it doesn't tell you how you can actually get better, which is the point of customer feedback. A feedback, always 4 things. Point of contact, in your case, the WordPress dashboard, the idea of emotion, and the idea of, am I good or am I bad, and how can I get better? And the way you do it is you collect insights with questions. And the last one is how you engage your users. So now, the question you want to ask yourself is, how do I actually collect engaging feedback? How do I make sure I provide an experience? So, we all have very boring forms, like Google Forms, like SurveyMonkey, and you're like, why would I give my feedback, right? I'm just wasting more time, it's a boring form, so you want to make sure, you ask as less questions as possible, because people's time is expensive. We've seen it on the dashboard, plenty of WordPress alerts. So if you want to collect feedback, make sure you create something that looks good, because design is important. Avoid text questions. We are going to see a couple of examples, but the idea is, no one likes to take a form. No one. You're wasting your time. So the idea is, how do you make the form something people want to do? Make sure it's beautiful, and make sure there's less questions as possible. So you can add conditions to display the right questions to the right user. A couple of examples. How would you rate the quality of our plugin? How would you rate the update rate? How would you rate the support? What's your feeling right now? But also, hey, John, because we know your name, how did you find your plugin? How did you find our super plugin? Was it on Google? Was it on WordPress? Ask this information, because the more information you collect, the better calls you can make on improving your products later. The next point is gamify and reward. So people are wasting their time. So make sure you create a gamified experience. You all love to play games. You know, when you scan the QR code and you get something back, do the same for feedback. It depends on your business, of course. If you're a free plugin, the reward is different. But you know, if you're not a free plugin, it's very easy for you. And you will get much more responses if you provide something that looks like a game. So you turn a form into a game. So add dynamic content, give emojis, use rankings, and then give something back. If you're a free user, if you have a free plugin, which is awesome, access to an exclusive beta list. You know, very easy. If you have a premium plan, offer a discount. So you know how to get better, and you make sure the user will come back, which is very easy. If you also have a free plugin or a free theme, you can offer advanced support. Fairly simple as well. And you want to make sure you can give access to other plugins. So the idea is with customer feedback, you get to learn your users and you learn to get better. So you also want to engage with people. Remember, they take their own time, you know, like they're doing something else with their life, and they say, okay, I'm going to help this plugin, or I'm going to help this theme. So the least you can do is to actually engage with them and making sure you know them perfectly. So you want to kickstart a relationship with your users. You want to get something back, because with feedback, you know in real time if the user is very happy or if the user is very unhappy. It's very simple. So you can ask different things. You want to get closer to your users that way. So you have your theme or your plugin, you're collecting WordPress user feedback, not one time, not a one-year survey, but something that happens on a day-to-day basis. And then the last point is, if the user is happy, you're going to ask for example, a 5-star rating on WordPress.org. If you need more ratings, we all need more ratings. You can know in real time if the user is happy or not happy. And if he's not happy, you want to make sure he becomes happy. And how do you do that? Customer support. Customer support is very important. You know, like make sure you provide good customer support. So here is an example. Feedback completed. You have the idea of rating us. Like for example, here it's on Envato, but it can be on WordPress.org. And then you can collect testimonials. The next point is very likely the most important one. If you want to collect good feedback, use the right channel. So for example, for a WordPress plugin, you don't want to send SMS. It doesn't make sense. You don't want to send QR code. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense in an event. It makes sense, you know, like in many other places, like products. But on WordPress, use a dashboard, because that's what the user is, and that's what the user is using your product. So you don't want to disturb someone on his phone if he's not using your product from his phone. It's very simple, but very important. And please don't spam. When you collect feedback, when you send surveys, make sure you send it to the right person. And the more persons you'll get, the better insights you'll get. So use specific events, like JavaScript. If you collect feedback from your theme settings or from your plugin settings, you can know in real time if the users activated your plugin a long time. You can know the plugin version. Don't ask for the plugin version. You already have the plugin version. So you have plenty of information. Make sure you use that information right. And make it fast. People have other things to do. If you want to get a lot of feedback, make it fast. Less than 2 minutes at least. And also make sure that you have to be patient. So for example, get 20% off Imran's page builder by giving your feedback. Only take 1 minute of your time. Easy peasy. So now you have many feedback, okay? Your users are happy because they get something back. You use the right channel, so you turn your conversion rate from 5% to 30%. But the real question is, how do you actually build better, right? So how you build better? You use metrics. Metrics are very important because with metrics, you can know the user satisfaction on several points. So, metrics you can use, Net Promoter Score. How would you recommend our plugin or our theme to a friend or colleague? Very simple question, very efficient. Can you rate our installation or support team? You know, you can ask these things. When you have these things, you can measure them over time. So you get all the criteria on a graph, and you have them evolve over time. Very easy. In that way, you can know in real time when you do an action, if you actually get better or if you're actually doing a worse job. So we're almost done. The last point I want to address is how you do it. And first, you know, like very quickly, create an experience. Stop doing boring forms, please. Gamify and reward. That means make sure that what you do brings back something to the user. And whatever your plugin is, whatever your theme is, or if you're an agency, it's very easy. You have plenty of ways of doing it, and you will get a lot more feedback. Then engage users. That means if the user is happy, get in touch. If the user is unhappy, get in touch as well. Make sure to understand why. And if you understand why, make sure to fix it and make sure to update your themes and plugins over time. And the last point, which is the most important one, is use the right channel. Because with the right channel, you'll get more responses and you'll be able to, you know, like to build better products simply because you're talking to the right users. It's very simple. It's like if you're sending a form to Shopify users for your WordPress plugins. Doesn't make any sense. So make sure you target the right guys. Some good products you can use. So of course, Feature, of course. But not only. You can also use Google Forms, SurveyMonkey, Typeform. There are plenty of tools available for you to start collecting feedback today. There is no reason to wait. It will just make your product looks better. And bonus, your users will be, they care about me, which is very important because, as you know, WordPress is a very competitive market. So even if you have a free plugin, there are plenty of other free plugins. So if you want to build the free plugins that people actually use, you want to make sure you're like more advanced than the other ones. You provide better supports, better updates, and everything. And the way to do it is feedback on all the way. So thanks for your time. You can give a feedback on the presentation if you're interested. And otherwise, you can always contact me if you've got questions. You will also find a link to Feature. It's free to use if you want to try. And the presentation is available here as well. So thanks for your time. Right on time.
Thank you for your awesome session. So our next speaker is Tashfia Nabila Farid. She is a technical content writer and she is the first female WordCamp speaker from Bangladesh. And her content got ranked in top 5 in Google contribution. So give a big hand for Tashfia Nabila Farid. Slides ki ready আছে?
জি আছে। এরকম করলে হবে? Hi everyone. Today I would be talking about WordPress SEO and content marketing and how you can use all three to create an impression. So before I start my session, I would like to give a huge shout out to all the sponsors attendees, speakers for making such a huge, great, beautiful event. And I hope that we continue to create events like this in Bangladesh. So, firstly, who am I? So I'm a technical writer for Themium. We produce a lot of plugins and themes. Actually, we have a product for almost every niche. For example, if you're a Gutenberg lover, we have Gutenberg blogs. If you want to create pages using a page builder, we have a product for that. LMS, crowdfunding, mega menu, you have a solution at Themium. So I work with a lot of different markets, and I get the opportunity to write about different kind of products. Now, the next thing I do is that I'm a content marketeer. Nowadays, the content market is so saturated that you do need a lot of marketing techniques to be able to actually get your blog posts to rank. And thirdly, I'm a complete SEO geek. SEO is something I'm very passionate about. So every time there's a new study about SEO, chances are I'm following it very closely. So today, some pointers that I would show with you is how you can rank across Google. Now, first thing I want to clear about this session is this is not an ultimate guide or a definitive guide, because what kind of SEO strategy works for me might not work for you. You might belong to a niche market, whereas I can work for a mainstream market. So in that case, we need very different SEO strategy. So one question that I always get is, Google is smarter than ever, and Google thinks more humanly than ever. So writing great content should be enough. Why is SEO still relevant in 2019? That's exactly the reason why SEO is more important than ever, because as Google gets smarter, we need more smarter SEO strategy to actually rank across this saturated content market. It's not about just ranking in a search engine and getting your content ranked across Google, but there are a lot of advantages to ranking well and having a strong SEO game. Firstly, is brand image. If your content is constantly ranking well across Google, then you know that people who are reading your content know that this brand is dedicated to helping people out. And if you rank consistently, then you have a great brand image. Secondly is return of investment, or ROI. So you spend resources. Sometimes you pay for SEO. So when people are actually visiting their site, knowing about your product, you get prospective clients. And that clients actually buy things from you. Your leads actually turn into clients. So you get a return of investment right from your SEO. Another point is you actually save from ranking organically, because the resources you get for SEO are sometimes free. For example, if you use Yoast, you can use the free version. There are a lot of good resources out there, such as Uber Suggests. So if you're able to rank and people actually visit your site and buy from you, you are actually not having to spend on an aggressive campaign. So you're actually saving a ton of resources just by ranking organically. Now, one thing that is extremely important is effort. If you're giving people a solution, if people see that you're working hard to provide content that shows effort, they know that you're trying to give them a good solution. And when they see your effort, they build trust on you, and as a result, they build trust on your product. And when they have trust on your product, they're likely to invest in it. And not only will they invest in it, they will actually be returning users. So not only are you getting new users, you're actually getting loyal users. So we will be looking at a few cases on how to rank across Google. So the first one, you can see the keyword is WordPress menu animation. And straight away, you can see themium occupies the entire space. So how to get there? So this is a tool I use to show that it actually ranks number one. One thing in this case is choosing a niche keyword. Keywords that necessarily don't have the highest volume, but when people search for it, they have the potential to become better. For example, 5 years back, people didn't really search for interaction design. So if someone used interaction design as a focus keyword, it was way easier to rank back then. And now, in 2019, everyone is searching interaction design. So that keyword always had potential. So at this time, WordPress menu animation brings me a moderate amount of traffic, as well as I know this has potential. So by using this rightly, I can rank number one in Google. When you want to rank across multiple keywords, there is also a strategy to that. Here I wrote a post about how to set funding goals for a successful crowdfunding campaign. So here are the keywords that I used: funding goals, set funding goals, and set crowdfunding goals. Anyone who's interested to create a crowdfunding platform like Kickstarter or Indiegogo, the first thing they will be curious about is funding goals. Now, most sites describe what is a funding goal, but they don't necessarily tell you how to set a funding goal. So if I can write a content that says what is funding goal, how to set it, and then goes further into the niche of setting crowdfunding goals, I can rank across multiple keywords. So this is one strategy to follow. Now, another search, if you want traffic, then in that case, you need high volume keywords. So this is something that I wrote, Gutenberg versus page builders, all you need to know. Gutenberg is something, a trendy topic that all of us have searched about. So, as you can see, I'm not ranking as high on it as other content, but this brings in huge volume for my site. So, this is one strategy I always follow, that is the volume versus niche strategy. What you do here is, firstly, you do a thorough keyword research, and then you understand how to approach that particular keyword. Are you going for the niche keywords, or are you going for the high impact keywords, or both, because that's the one that's going to bring you more volume as well as ranking. So once you separate your niche and volume keywords, you can post content. Suppose you want the niche one, or ranking is your main game, then obviously go for the niche keyword. If you want a lot of traffic, go for the high volume keywords. Now the thing is, one great advantage to this is that this won't cause keyword cannibalism. Sometimes in your site, if you have the similar kind of keywords, sometimes they fight against each other, and this might actually cause more harm than good. Following the niche versus volume strategy shows that you have no chances of competing keywords in the same website. So as we talked about in earlier times, that Google is smarter, more human-like than ever. So how do you actually rank in 2019? The first thing is RankBrain. RankBrain is a machine learning system that basically shows how users interact with your content. Two things that it focuses on is the dwell time, how long users actually stay in your site, and the second thing is the click-through rate. So it's obvious, if people don't like your content, they would most likely not stay in your page. And that actually goes along with the search metrics results or study that says that the top 10 Google results have a 3+ minute dwell time. So this also relates to the fact that you need a good length, because obviously if people are going to stay over for more than 3 minutes, your content should be of a good length so that people have enough information to have them engage and stay in your page for that long. The second part is featured snippets. As you saw earlier, this is the featured snippet. This is a 40 to 60 word blog that Google selects from its best results to show people the ultimate solution. This is a result that Google thinks will help people the most. So your aim should be to rank in the top 5 so that you have the highest chances to be featured in the featured snippet. So there is no alternative to having evergreen content. You need authoritative content, content that actually provides the solution, because at the end of the day, people don't care about what happens behind the scene, but they care about what you're offering. So in that case, you need to focus on the length and as well as the long tail search so that all the related keywords are in your content. The second point is the mobile first index. As of this year, the mobile version of a search result is what Google holds true as the true version. So if you don't have a site that does well on mobile, you are likely not going to rank well. And that's because almost around 60 to 70% of the searches people do are from the mobile. So your content needs to be consistent across all devices, and it needs to be responsive. Some more recommendations is rank in online videos. According to Cisco, 80% of all the traffic by 2021 will be online videos. So if you're not investing in creating video content, then this is high time that you do so. Because right now, video SEO is still an unexplored field or still a new field. And people feedback, according to what we heard before, feedback is important and people want videos. In fact, a lot of people just skip Google altogether and they just go straight to YouTube and search for a solution. In fact, since Google owns YouTube, it actually gives video priorities. And so, if you have noticed, 55% of Google search results include videos. So this is your opportunity to rank well in online videos. So voice search optimization. Voice search optimization is likely to be the next big thing because a lot of adults use voice search to get a solution from Google. In fact, 20% of mobile users search something in voice to get the solution. So how do you optimize your content for voice? When we ask a question or do a voice search, we are likely to ask a question. For example, what is the weather? Or how do I back up my site? So if you have a question in your site and an answer to that, you might rank in the voice search. But studies also show that only the top 3 or 4 of the Google text contents usually rank in the voice content. So the first thing you need to do is be in the top 5 of Google and then actually have a question and an answer included so that it's most close to the question people are most likely to ask. Now, visual marketing. Earlier I talked about interaction. People are likely to stay in your site if you have engaging content, if you have visuals, infographics, helpful infographics, then in that case, people are likely to be more engaged and your dwell time increases. Another thing is zombie pages. Zombie pages are pages that you necessarily don't have a use anymore. For example, a Black Friday deal that you had in 2017. If it's still there, it's actually going to confuse search engines. So I highly advise you that you get rid of zombie pages in your site. Now, almost at the end of the session, I'm quickly going to go through over what helps you rank in WordPress org. The first thing is having all your keywords in your README text file. If your competitors are missing out on a keyword, make sure that you have it in your README file. Another thing is the content structure. Follow a tag, a title, a meta description, and a good excerpt. The development needs to be frequent because if you're not updating your plugin for 180 days, you're actually penalized in the ranking. And also it needs to be tested for the latest WordPress core update. And the title alone has the impact to change your position in the directory. Try to include at least 2 to 3 keywords in your WordPress directory plugin name. The last 4 factors are translations. If your plugin has good internal strings that are translated and there are no competitor plugins inside it, chances are that you will be the only search result if people searches in a keyword in their native language. If you have author contributors, more contributors than your competitor, chances are you will also rank well in WordPress directory. Obviously, the average rating matters a lot because if people like your plugin, then they're obviously rating it well. And make sure to have great support, solve all the problems, and when you incorporate all these solutions, then you're going to rank well in the WordPress directory. So lastly, if you have great content, you'll have great SEO. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tashfia, for your wonderful session. আমাদের এখন খুব মজার একটা আপডেট আছে।
সবার কেমন লাগছে? সবাই একটু হাত তুলি। আসি এখানে? আসি। এটা অনেক বেশি সারপ্রাইজিং, অনেক বেশি এক্সাইটিং এবং কুইজটাতে অ্যাটেন্ড করতে হলে আপনাদের যা লাগবে, আপনাদের প্রত্যেকের মোবাইলে ডাটা কানেকশন বা ইন্টারনেট কানেকশন দরকার হবে। আর কুইজটার জন্য আপনাদের হচ্ছে একটা লিঙ্ক দিয়ে দেওয়া হবে, একটা সময় লিমিটেড থাকবে। ওই সময়ের মধ্যে কিছু প্রশ্নের আনসার যত কুইকলি যে দিতে পারবে সেই কুইজের জয়ী হতে পারবে। সো আমরা যেন এটা মিস না করি, আমরা যারা একটু আগে আগে চলে যাওয়ার কথা ভাবছি বা একটু দূরে দূরে আছি তারা একটু থাকার চেষ্টা করি এবং খুব এক্সাইটিং একটা কুইজে খুব ভালো একটা পারফরমেন্স করার চেষ্টা করব। ঠিক আছে? থ্যাংক ইউ।
আচ্ছা, আমাদের স্পন্সর WP ডেভেলপার, they are apparently hiring in content writer, WordPress developer, PHP developer, automation engineer, and digital marketing position. So if you need to apply, please go to hub.wpdeveloper.net. আমাদের পরবর্তী স্পিকার কে হতে পারে? আমাদের পরবর্তী স্পিকার আমাদের লিড অর্গানাইজার অফ দ্য ভেরি ফার্স্ট ওয়ার্ড ক্যাম্প অফ ঢাকা, হাসিন হায়দার। আমরা সবাই চিনি, আমাদের সবার পছন্দের। আমি হাসিন ভাইকে রিকোয়েস্ট করবো স্টেজে এসে ওনার সেশনটা কনভে করার জন্য।
হ্যালো এভরিওয়ান, সবাই কেমন আছেন? সো অনেকক্ষণ ধরে অনেক টপিক চলতেছে, এখন হচ্ছে আমরা একটু শুরু করি। তো ওয়ার্ডপ্রেস বললেই সবার মধ্যে যেটা আসে সেটা কি? ওয়ার্ডপ্রেস কি কি বলে? সিএমএস। সিএমএস মানে কি? কন্টেন্ট ম্যানেজমেন্ট সিস্টেম। তো এর বাইরে যখনই কথা আসে, যে আমরা যখনই বলি যে না, ওয়ার্ডপ্রেসকে ফ্রেমওয়ার্ক হিসেবেও কিন্তু ইউজ করা যায়, আসলে কি যায়?